Joining me now with more on the European response to the latest reports of U.S. phone and internet spying is Andrew Borene, a defense council member with the Truman National Security Project here in Washington. Welcome. Former U.S. Secretary of State, this is going back quite a while, Henry Stimson said, "Gentlemen do not read other gentlemen's mail." Obviously, he wouldn't have a role in this administration. There seems to be so much outcry over this. And online, there was a headline in one of the online publications that says, what does it mean to be an ally of the United States? And I guess that's really kind of the first question, because they seem so outraged at all of this. What does it mean?
Well, I think Secretary of State Stimson's point would not necessarily bar him from a membership in this administration. Clearly, this president and his administration and leaders in both houses of Congress highly value transatlantic and Pacific partnerships. So there's no question about the value of alliances to the administration. The second question, more to your point on what comprises an alliance or an allied relationship, I think these disclosures have undoubtedly come as a surprise to many in leadership here in Washington, D.C. Certainly it appears from the evidence that the president himself was unaware, and I wouldn't find that highly unlikely given the mechanism by which intelligence collection is prepared and disseminated. And so I think, if anything, what you're seeing now today, especially in the remarks in the news, is a tendency for this administration to adjust to the situation and show those allies how much they mean in a credible way, and to implement real intelligence reforms to help, I guess, strengthen oversight.
Let me take a step back at one of the things you said, which is you're not surprised that the president would be unaware of this. And I think a lot of people outside the United States would be surprised, because here he is, the leader of the free world, and he doesn't even know that this is going on. How does that happen?
Well, I don't think it's unreasonable that the president of the United States, as a single human being, would not be aware of the millions and millions of intelligence collection activities happening on the United States' behalf, whether explicitly through United States collection or through partner collection. And another thing I think that people often forget, and certainly the media does not address, I think, fully, is that these collection programs are not eavesdropping per se. And it's much more akin to the information that you would find from what I read in these reports in a phone bill. This call went to this number at this time. These aren't eavesdropping, spying in the full-blown way I think that a lot of people would, kind of collective wisdom would indicate.
But tapping the German chancellor's phone, which is what is being alleged, that would be a step beyond that, wouldn't it? I mean, and to consider Merkel in the same category as the Taliban or Al-Qaeda, I guess that would be something that I think would be difficult to kind of comprehend for an ally.
Right, and absolutely, and I think, as I said, I think you're seeing the president has set out a task force that's due to come back with information on the extent of NSA surveillance and make sensible recommendations for reform. We heard Senator Feinstein today make very bold comments about her opposition to the spying on allied political leaders. And we also heard even Mike Rogers on the Republican side in the House echoing that these are very legitimate concerns. So I think that the climate is set for a renewed debate about intelligence reform in Washington, D.C., and it's obvious that this administration values foreign alliances and partnerships that mean a great deal more than solely counterterrorism. They support anti-human trafficking. They support counter-narcotic work. They promote economic development. So there's really no question that partnerships and alliances are of high value, and these concerns are legitimate.
Well, Andrew, thank you for coming in and offering your insights. Some patching up needed there, undoubtedly.